Welcome back. Now let's go into market reports, local and international business news for today. NUPRC amends domestic crude Nigerian upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission is set to amend the domestic crude supply obligations regulations 2023. The commission stated this in a notice signed by the chief executive of the NUPRC, Benga Komolafe, adding that the national data repository regulations will also be reviewed. In the notice, the commission said it wanted to consult with stakeholders for their input in line with section 216 subsection 1 of the PIA 2021, which requires the commission to consult with stakeholders before finalizing regulations or amendments to regulations. The Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission hereby invites inputs from lessees, licensees, permit holders, host communities, and other stakeholders of the Nigerian upstream petroleum sector within 21 days from the date of this publication. It directed that all submission must be made using the format accessible through a link on its site and must be received no later than 21 days of this notice. Naira closes 1,596 Naira per dollar. Central Bank of Nigeria says the net foreign exchange flows into the country increased to $25.4 billion in the first 6 months of 2024, marking a 55% increase from the figure recorded year over year. It said the evident progress is a result of its policy measures as the Naira closed at a rate of 1,596 Naira against the United States dollar and maintained the same rate as it closed on Wednesday, while the CBN's revelation on foreign exchange flows came against the backdrop of the Apex Bank's $876 million auction to 26 banks to resolve unmet FX demands. The statement from the Apex Bank said the growth had been fueled by a rise in capital importation, which reached $6 billion in June 2024 and recorded inflows from diaspora remittances through formal channels. The CBN said over $305 million of foreign exchange had been sold to authorized dealers in the last 3 weeks through a two-way quote system, which has been deployed over the past few months to enhance liquidity in the interbank markets. On his part, the Chief Executive Officer of Center for the Petroleum Promotion of Private Enterprise, Dr. Muda Yusuf, applauded the intervention by the Apex Bank, stressing that the Naira volatility has negatively impacted the economic and business and reduced investors' confidence. NNPCL demands 4.7 trillion Naira petrol. Nigeria National Petroleum Company Limited has demanded a refund of 4.7 trillion Naira from the federal government to settle outstanding debts used to import premium motor spirit, popularly called petrol, into the country. This claim was listed as exchange rate differential on PMS and other joint ventures taxes on petrol products imported by the company between August 2023 to June 2024. It was disclosed by the Minister of Finance and the Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Wale Edu, at the June meeting of the Federation Accounts Allocation Committee, adding that the exchange rate differentials refer to income accrued to banks or government agencies from the difference in value between two currencies at different times through foreign exchange sale and purchase prices. The development also means that the government will support fuel imports by covering the difference between the projected rate and the actual expenses incurred by the NNPC for importing petroleum products into the country, which ordinarily should be reflected in the retail price of the product and borne by final consumers, contradicts the government's claims that subsidies have been eliminated. Also, the Chairman, Revenue, Mobilization, Allocation and Fiscal Commission, Mohammed Bello, making a presentation during the meeting, revealed the reason for the rate difference, saying, following the removal of subsidy on PMS on 29th May 2023, NNPCL made requisite pricing adjustments using an exchange rate benchmark of 650 Naira to $1 to arrive at retail coastal pump price from June 2023. Association of Nigeria has called on the Central Bank of Nigeria to settle the $2.4 billion foreign exchange forward contracts to prevent plunging the manufacturing sector into a crisis. The Director General of MAN, Segun Ajayi Kadir, in a statement said that CBN appeared to be reneging on its promise to deliver foreign currency to manufacturers at a specific future date in exchange for an upfront naira payment, and warned of damage to the Apex Bank's credibility. Ajayi Kadir also said the CBN issued foreign exchange forward contracts promising to deliver foreign currency at a specific future date in exchange for an upfront naira payment, but recently revealed that it could not honor the contracts due to an ongoing investigation by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission into some foreign exchange transactions. The MAN DG said there were far-reaching consequences for the Nigerian manufacturing sector when the CBN delayed in keeping its part of the contract, and also lamented how many businesses had borrowed money from banks to open letters of credit for their companies based on the forward contracts allocated by the CBN, and the failure to redeem this contract had left businesses in a financial bind. Ajayi Kadir said the commercial banks had continued to charge dollar and naira account fees, including a 35% interest rate on the loans taken by companies, leading to an erosion of the companies working capital, while the manufacturing companies were the worst hit, as they had accumulated over 1.5 trillion naira in forex-related transactions losses in the last 6 months, adding that many small and medium-sized enterprises had been forced to close or temporarily suspend operations, while larger corporations had incurred massive foreign exchange losses exceeding 300 billion naira in the second half of 2023. Owners of refinery in Nigeria said the country cannot continue to keep the businesses of fuel importers anymore, and there was need for Nigeria to talk about fuel exports at the moment. Speaking under the auspices of the Crude Oil Refiners Association of Nigeria, they said amid complaints by depot owners that the Dangote Petroleum Refinery was planning to monopolize fuel supply in the country. Earlier, the chief executive of the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority, Farouk Ahmed, had accused the Dangote refinery of asking him to stop granting licenses for diesel importation so that all traders will resort to buying from him instead of importing. While appearing before the Senate Ad hoc Committee to investigate the alleged economic sabotage in the Nigerian petroleum industry, the national chairman of the Depot and Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria, Abdul Kabir Aliyu, made a subtle attack against the Dangote Group, which is said declared 133 billion naira profit on sugar sales in June in Nigeria within the last 6 months, adding that such a feat was made possible by Dangote by allowing him to monopolize the sugar business in Nigeria. Idoko also said depot owners have refused to partner with refineries despite having the capacity. Shippers Council decries ports congestion. Nigerian Shippers Council has blamed congestion at the port on the lack of functional rail systems for cargo evacuation. The executive secretary of the council, Pius Kuta, who disclosed this in Lagos when the agency partnered with the Nigerian Railway Corporation on a one-day sensitization meeting, said the lack of functional rail has also led to delays in offloading vessels and turnaround time, as well as payment of demurrage. Yeah. He said the meeting, which also resulted in the signing of a memorandum of understanding, intends to enhance intermodal connection and connectivity, would also ensure the fast delivery of cargoes to and from the inland dry ports, cheaper and cost-effective means of transportation of goods to the hinterland, especially to the IDPs located at the hinterland. According to Akuta, rail movement of cargo can also reduce greenhouse gas emissions and energy consumption when compared to road movements of cargo. Earlier, the managing director of Nigerian Railway Corporation, Mr. Fidet Okiria, lamented the unavailability of cargoes for the rail to carry, adding that the lack of cargo has led to delays in the loading of the wagons. Ogun smallholder farmers benefits. Ogun State Governor Dapo Abiodun has hailed the commitment of the federal government to achieve food security, as 2,400 smallholder farmers in the state have benefited from the National Agricultural Growth Scheme Agro Pocket. Abiodun said his administration was also leaving no stone unturned to achieve food sufficiency and to also be a food basket for the entire country. The governor disclosed this during the inauguration of a 13-member state working committee of the federal government-initiated National Agricultural Goods Scheme, Agro Pocket, adding that the program would go a long way toward boosting food production in the country. He said the initiative was aligned with the vision of his government, which recognized the immense potential of employment generation, wealth generation, food production, and poverty eradication in agriculture, adding that the scheme was designed to address various challenges associated with smallholder farmers, especially about access to improved and climate-smart crop varieties and organic and inorganic fertilizers through enhanced private sector participation in input production. The governor urged the committee headed by the Commissioner for Agriculture and Food Security, Dr. Bolu Owotomo, to ensure the effective running of the scheme and ensure that its aims and goals were not defeated. Nigerian Exchange Limited has expressed its support for FCMB Group PLC's plan to raise 110.9 billion naira through a public offering. FCMB Group commenced its public offer of 15.197 billion shares at 7 naira 30 kobo per share on July 29th and closed on September 4th. According to a statement, the capital rise is aimed at bolstering the group's operational capacity and supporting its growth initiative, while the FCMB Group Chief Executive Ladi Balogun stated that despite challenging economic conditions, the bank had maintained strong performance metrics, including revenue growth and profitability. The Group Chief Executive Officer of the Nigerian Exchange Group, Temi Pupola, lauded FCMB's initiative and the exchange support for the capital raise, stressing that FCMB's digital innovations around the public offer aligned with NG's digital transformation goals. Also, the Chief Executive Officer of the Nigerian Exchange Limited, Jude Chiemeka, expressed optimism about the capital rise, reiterating the exchange's dedicated to ensuring a smooth process and highlighting FCMB's strategic use of digital banking services to enhance shareholder value. Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development Festus Keyamo San and the Director General of NCAA, Captain Chris Najomo, have successfully resolved the impasse between Arik Air and Atlas Petroleum. NCAA's declaration came barely 8 days after an aircraft belonging to Arik Air was grounded by the federal government, while civil aviation regulator also added that the airline would now continue its operations. Nigerian Airspace Management Agency grounded the airline following a court judgment in favor of the airline's creditor. The Director of Public Affairs and Consumer Protection of NCAA, Michael Achimugu, said the resolution of the impasse in a statement on its X handle, and the airline confirmed its resumption through a statement signed by the Chief Executive Officer, Roy Ilobulu, Ilobudu on Thursday, adding that the brief pause of its operation did not derail the airline's commitment to the safety of the flying passengers. Securities and Exchange Commission is set to unveil its vision for the Nigerian capital market at the second Capital Market Committee meeting. The statement by the SEC in Lagos aligned with President Bola Tinubu's renewed hope agenda, focusing on strategies to enhance the market's role in driving economic growth and development. Director General of the SEC, Ememotimi Agama, would outline the Commission's plans to attract investments, improve market efficiency, and safeguard investors' interests, and are committed to fostering an investment climate that embraces innovation and sustainability while protecting investors. The statement said the CMC meeting will bring together stakeholders, including CEOs from registered capital market firms, brokers and dealers, investment advisors, custodians, and fund and portfolio managers, while the agenda will cover the current landscape of the Nigerian capital markets, the regulatory framework, and strategies for future growth. According to the SEC, participants will review reports from technical committees and market infrastructures with a particular focus on emerging market trends, while the Capital Market Committee on industry-wide body, including the SEC and other market operators, will serve as a platform for dialogue and collaboration. We are open for advert placements, bookings, and commercials. And you can connect with us and watch us on ATN socials, Facebook and YouTube, Atlantic Television Network, Instagram and TikTok, Atlantic TV Network 1, X, formerly Twitter, Atlantic TV Net. Watch us live on our website, atlanticnetwork.tv. Federal government says proposed cost of 279 billion naira for the second Niger Bridge bypass by Julius Berger PLC is excessively high. A statement by the Federal Ministry of Work through the Minister of Works, Senator David Umahi, expressed his disappointment with Julius Berger's pricing, adding that one of the bypasses, which is 17.27 kilometers by 2 on asphalt, was awarded to Julius Berger, and after changing the pavement elements to concrete, the cost was calculated at 131 billion naira. The ministry reviewed Julius Berger's PLC's performance on all ongoing projects awarded to the company. While the review, Umahi raised concerns over the unacceptable condition of some projects, including the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway Phase 2, adding that the ministry would seek selective tendering to complete the project. Imo State House of Assembly has pledged its support to the Ministry on Industry, Mines and Solid Minerals to put an end to the illegal mining activities in the state. It also promised to help strengthen the sector and enhance its proficiency through legislative support. The commitment was made when the Assembly's Committee on Commerce and Industry interfaced with officials of the Ministry of Industry, Mines and Solid Minerals, led by the Commissioner of the Ministry, Ernest Ibejako. During the interaction that took place at the Assembly complex, the chairman of the Committee on Commerce and Industry and member representing Ikeduru State Constituency, Joloba Ihoha, explained the need to reposition the sector to meet the demands of time in line with the vision of the state government. Ihoha, while appreciating the officials of the ministry for the visit, asserted that their invitation was part of the oversight function of the committee as empowered by the Constitution, adding that the industry, mines and solid mineral sector of the economy of the state is properly repositioned, would be a major revenue spinning venture for the state government, as it would create employment opportunities for millions of Imo citizens. He assured the ministry that the committee would do all that was needed to support the sector in its That the reason for inviting the sector to appear before it is to brainstorm and get first-hand information on the activities of the ministry and its plans for foreign direct investments. Naira recorded a significant 10 Naira against the dollar at the black market foreign exchange. A bureau de change operator in Wuse Zone 4, Dayobu Ashu, confirmed the Naira was sold at 1,610 Naira per dollar from 1,620 Naira on Wednesday. The development comes amid the commencement of the Central Bank of Nigeria's retail Dutch auction system. CBN said it sold $876.26 million to 26 banks at 1,495 Naira per dollar rate, and has resulted in an immediate impact on the performance of Naira in the foreign exchange market. Gulf Cooperation Council has increasingly turned its gaze toward Africa, recognizing the continent's vast untapped potential, particularly in the natural resources sector. GCC investors, leveraging their expertise and financial muscle, are making significant inroads by taking up stakes in hydrocarbons mining and agricultural projects across Africa, while the relationship between the GCC and Africa is evolving from mere trade partnerships to deeper financial and operational collaborations. The GCC's involvement is not just about securing resources, it's about contributing to the development of Africa's infrastructure and enhancing the continent's global trade position. While the report titled "The Gulf Cooperation Council's Expanding Africa Footprint," published by the Economist Intelligence Unit, had the latest mining in Durban in South Africa, Africa's largest mining investment conference held in February, and the GCC made a significant impact with a strong presence and substantial investment budgets. Companies from the UAE and Saudi Arabia are set to intensify competition with Chinese Western firms to secure Africans' critical metals and minerals essential for advanced technologies and the energy transition. And in December, the United Arab Emirates signed a landmark agreement with Morocco to become a principal financial backer of the Atlantic Gas Pipeline project, the report highlighted. It states further that this ambitious project aims to transport natural gas from Nigeria along the Atlantic coastline to West Africa to Morocco and eventually into Europe, while the partnership highlights the UAE's commitment to playing a central role in Africa's energy future and positioning itself as a key player in the continent's economic transformation. President Bola Tinubu has charged security agencies to go after illegal miners, even as he urged miners to prioritize health of Nigerians. The president disclosed this when he received participants of Course 32 of the National Defense College in Abuja and assured that his administration will ensure companies engaged in mineral exploration prioritize the health and safety of Nigerians and the host communities. The president, who received presentation titled "Harnessing the Mining Industry for Enhanced National Security and Development, Strategic Options for Nigeria by 2030, also directed security agencies to intensify efforts to crack down on illegal miners across the country. The Course 32 participants were tasked with researching topical national issues, and their findings during the 11-month study focused on the mining industry's potential to contribute to national security and development. Responding to the presentation delivered by President Tinubu, Colonel Lajide Bello commended their work and reiterated the importance of diversifying Nigeria's economy and will equally promote a better understanding of the issues for a better civil society. August Marketers, Deputy President of the Independent Petroleum Marketers Association in Nigeria, Zama Mustafa, has assured that the Port Harcourt refinery will meet its deadline and become fully operational this August. Mustafa expressed confidence that the refinery's long-awaited completion will significantly boost the supply of petrol in Nigeria. He said the refinery will come on stream, fully producing all the necessary components that a refinery is supposed to produce, with a capacity of 60,000 barrels, and can provide approximately 10 to 12 million liters of petrol daily. When questioned about the potential impacts of the refinery's operation on petrol prices, Mustafa said it could lead to a reduction depending on the cost of crude oil and the refinery's pricing strategy, stressing that it depends on how much they are willing to sell and how much they get the crude, because they are buying the crude at an international price. Mustafa also highlighted the financial commitments involved in the refinery's refurbishment of about $1.5 billion loan was secured to fund the project, and the loan will be repaid by the refiner's operation, adding that the original completion in 2019 was delayed by the refurbishment and upgrade of the Port Harcourt refinery in Nigeria's oil-rich Niger Delta region, having faced multiple setbacks. The project is seen as essential for Nigeria's energy independence and economic stability, and has been delayed by political disagreements, funding challenges, and technical issues. Report by the Lagos State Employment Trust Fund says that 60% of job seekers in the state turn down jobs due to low pay. The report, which is a recently released labor market survey for the half-year 2024, reveals that 26% of job seekers reject jobs because they are too far away from home, while 15% turn down offers because they were seeming boring. The report, done in collaboration with Ministry of Wealth Creation and Employment and the Ministry of Economic Planning and Budgeting in Lagos, focuses on the indicators affecting labor supply and labor demand. The purpose of the report is to create a data-driven approach to identify education gap in the states and conditions affecting employment and re-employment for holders. The report is also meant to understand the intricacies of the job problem and develop appropriate measures to reduce unemployment in the states. The report relied on data collected from 23,290 students, including undergraduates and postgraduates, across various institutions, including vocational centers and tertiary institutions in Lagos State, from January 31st to 2023 to March 31st, 2024, while about 47,000 job seekers were also sampled during the period. The data were collected using questionnaires. The report also reveals that the main reasons job seekers struggle to re-enter the job market include lack of work experience, mismatch between their education and job requirements, as well as discrimination based on gender, disability, race, and appearance. And 20% of job seekers face discrimination, noting that those people are particularly affected because they don't get fair chances to be considered for jobs, even if they are qualified. Africa is inaugurating International Astronomical Union General Assembly with a strong emphasis on leveraging science, technology, and innovation for human development, strategic investment, and economic growth on the continent. The IAU, which is being hosted in Cape Town, South Africa, in partnership